Hey, it's Jamie East here from the Smart 7, and today's episode is brought to you by Pension Bee and their award-winning Pension Confident podcast. Getting your head around pensions might seem overwhelming, but that's where Pension Bee comes in. They're on a mission to build pension confidence. So whether you're just starting on your pension journey, you're nearing retirement, or like me, you're somewhere a little bit in between, then you should have a listen to the Pension Confident podcast. It's an award-winning podcast that digs into topics that really matter with the help of financial experts. So that could be the basics of how pensions, ISAs or mortgages work, and things like how to get started on saving for a happy retirement. And a bit like the Smart 7 does with the news, they break down complex pensions finance into language that we can all understand. You can listen or download the Pension Confident podcast wherever you get your podcast from, or you can watch the episodes on YouTube. And remember, anything discussed on the podcast shouldn't be regarded as financial or legal advice, and when investing, your capital is at risk. On today's Smart 7, death of Charlie Kirk sparks US political chaos, Mandelson sacked over Epstein emails and much more. It's Friday the 12th of September, it's Video Games Day, and happy birthday Sydney Sweeney.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
The death of Charlie Kirk, the right-wing commentator and ally of Donald Trump, has shocked America. Kirk was shot at a public event for his Turning Point USA organisation and later died in hospital. The FBI continue to investigate the killing, identifying a suspect and finding a bolt-action rifle, which suggests the killer shot Kirk from the roof of a nearby building. The killing has startled an American public used to gun violence, and several right-wing influencers have withdrawn from public events. President Donald Trump seems to be particularly upset at the death of his ally, and he has decided to posthumously award Charlie Kirk with the highest civilian honour, a Presidential Medal of Freedom. Speaking at a 9/11 commemorative event, the president sounded positively gloomy.
If you attack the United States of America, we will hunt you down and we will crush you without mercy, and we will triumph without question.
The shooting has sparked calls from the right criticising what they call leftist violence and ramping up tensions, while ignoring the lack of response they had to violence against Democratic senators in Minnesota. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer was calling for calm.
And coming together is what we ought to be doing, not pointing fingers of blame.
The saga of Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump claimed another scalp on Thursday. Trump has been doing everything in his power to avoid having to release the famous Epstein client list, but this week has seen more revelations, including leaked emails to Epstein from former Tony Blair advisor Peter Mandelson. He started Thursday as the UK's ambassador to the US, but the pressure on Prime Minister Keir Starmer from the opposition and his own backbenchers was beginning to mount. New Home Office Minister for Migration and Citizenship Mike Tapp struggled to put the matter to bed when asked about the leaked emails by ITV News.
I found it disturbing and I'm really uncomfortable with that. And I just have to then refer you to the statement from Peter Mandelson yesterday, where he does also, express that deep regret.
It turned out the Prime Minister also felt the pressure, and Mandelson was sacked, with Downing Street saying that Starmer found the emails reprehensible. Minister of State Stephen Doughty had the job of informing the Commons.
In light of additional information in emails written by Peter Mandelson, the Prime Minister has asked the Foreign Secretary to withdraw him as ambassador to the United States. The emails show, Mr. Speaker, that the depth and extent of Lord Mandelson's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein is materially different from that known at the time of his appointment.
Israeli forces continued to press forward into Gaza City on Thursday, with reports of more than 50 people killed in strikes. The UN Security Council met on Thursday evening to discuss Israel's attack on Hamas leaders in Doha and issued a statement agreed by all 15 members condemning the strikes, but failed to mention Israel by name. Members called for de-escalation and expressed their solidarity with Qatar. Donald Trump and his administration weren't happy with the strikes on what America considers a major non-NATO ally, but Trump hasn't moved to rein in Israel in the wake of the incident. Qatar's Foreign Affairs spokesperson Dr. Majed Al-Ansari says America needs to act.
Prime Minister Netanyahu cannot be left loose on the region again like this. This is a red line that has been crossed right now. He has been talking about reshaping the region, but it is very clear right now that he wants to shape the region into his own image, which is chaos and destruction wherever he likes.
Friday will see an emergency session of the UN Security Council convened at Poland's request. It follows this week's Russian drone incursion into Polish airspace and increasing concern from Poland about what Russia might do next. The lack of any concrete response from the United States and Donald Trump, despite the new crossing of lines from Vladimir Putin, is also sparking concern. Poland's Foreign Minister Radoslaw Sikorski says the attack was deliberate and that it lasted for more than 7 hours, with drone fragments discovered over 200 miles from the border. NATO has been more cautious about calling it deliberate, and Secretary-General Mark Rutte was trying to calm matters on Thursday.
A conflict like this can only be brought to an end when the American president is personally involved, and he is involved. He is working actively at this, and NATO, having now committed to the 5% spending, is a clear signal to Russia we are serious.
Still to come on today's Smart 7 in association with Metro, Forest welcomed their new manager, and just imagine Colin Farrell in a lilac onesie right after this. Hey, it's Jamie East here from the Smart 7, and today's episode's brought to you by Pension Bee and their award-winning Pension Confident podcast. Getting your head around pensions might seem overwhelming, but that's where Pension Bee comes in. They're on a mission to build pension confidence. So whether you're just starting on your pension journey, you're nearing retirement, or like me, you're somewhere a little bit in between, then you should have a listen to the Pension Confident podcast. It's an award-winning podcast that digs into topics that really matter with the help of financial experts. So that could be the basics of how pensions, ISAs or mortgages work, and things like how to get started on saving for a happy retirement. And a bit like the Smart 7 does with the news, they break down complex pensions finance into language that we can all understand. You can listen or download the Pension Confident podcast wherever you get your podcast from, or you can watch the episodes on YouTube. And remember, anything discussed on the podcast shouldn't be regarded as financial or legal advice, and when investing, your capital is at risk. Welcome back. It's been 2 weeks since we've had any Premier League action as the World Cup qualifiers took place. Things might look a little different when it all resumes on Saturday, with transfer window swaps and a few managerial changes too. The first game on Saturday is a 1:30 kickoff, and it sees Arsenal welcome Nottingham Forest. Forest sacked Nuno Espirito Santo this week and have replaced him with former Spurs boss Ange Postecoglou. He's looking forward to a brand new challenge and a tough opening game.
Every club wants to be successful for sure, but what I've seen over the last few years is those ambitions are backed up with actions, and it's perfect conditions for me.
Thursday night saw Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell walk the red carpet in Leicester Square for the premiere of their new movie, A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. It's an unconventional love story / rom-com that sees the two journey through their lives in search of key moments from their pasts. That led to some memorable flashback scenes, as Colin and Margot explained when they popped up on The One Show.
Everyone else is having a great laugh at my expense.
Just picture Colin in a onesie, performing a High School Musical routine.
Lilac onesie.
A lilac onesie, lest we forget, with a bow tie, and declaring his love to his high school crush and being totally rejected in front of everyone.
Sydney Sweeney has been on a great run recently, from her viral American Eagle jeans ads to Emmy nominations for her work in Euphoria and White Lotus. But her next project could be one that propels her into the superstar league. It's a biopic of American boxer Christy Martin, who was one of the first professional female boxers, winning the WBC Super Welterweight title and one of the first women entered into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Sweeney both produced and starred in the movie, which sees her tackle a really physical role to great acclaim from critics. Christy hits cinemas in November.
It's an honor to meet you, Mr. King.
Well, tell me about yourself. Jesse here says that you fight in all pink.
I'm from West Virginia.
What's that got to do with pink?
Nothing, sir. I'm just telling you about myself.
Yeah, pink was my idea.
You think you what makes the world turn. But one day you're going to wake up and realize that it turns just fine without you.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.